We used to fix cars, replace garbage disposals, and work on roofs. With what? With duct tape, baling wire, and guts.
Now people pay $300 just to have someone hang a picture frame. DIY is dying, and so are the skills that built this country.
This is Tab. She can turn a junk shop table into something Pottery Barn wishes they sold.
And this is Jim. And he's the guy you call when the sink explodes, the wiring shorts out, or the car sounds funny.
And together, we're Unretired AF.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Unretired AF podcast. The podcast is specially created for the over 60 troublemakers. Yes, that's you. And today we're going to be talking about why DIY skills are disappearing, why it matters, and what's going to happen when our generation's gone. Well, our generation was raised to fix things when they broke. I mean, I know, like when I was in high school, all the guys fixed their cars. I mean, that was something that almost all the guys knew how to do that.
You could.
I remember appliances would break and they would be fixed. Either the dads would fix them or my grandfather would fix them, or grandfathers, in general. Or, there were actually appliance repair guys.
Yes, there were.
I don't even know if they even have that anymore. The girls, we fixed our clothes. I mean, we would put patches on jeans, or if something ripped, we would put a stitch into it and, repair it. We learned from our parents. We learned from our other relatives, our grandparents, neighbors, or by screwing it up and having to redo it again. We learned that way too.
Yeah. If you didn't know how to use a wrench or a hammer, you learned it. Survival didn't give you a choice.
Right.
And let's be real, YouTube didn't exist then. There was a lot of trial and error. But you also had, for no better word, Uncle Bob,
right,
or the guy down the street that had been there and done that.
Right.
And, as long as you offered him an Old Milwaukee or a Pabst or something like that, you could generally get somebody to show you or help you with it. So I think, unfortunately, like on cars especially, those days are gone because none of us can afford the $100,000 computer reader to know what code it is.
Were there any books available even back then, or did you have to learn everything hands-on with somebody?
Yeah, there's been books about everything, but they were more specific to what you were working on. For instance, if you had a Chevrolet Camaro, you could buy the shop manual for a Chevrolet Camaro or a diesel engine.
And were those good for people who were novices, or did you have to already know, or were they good?
No, yeah. I mean, it was a complete breakdown. It was basically instructions on how to do things.
Okay.
And there were.
Okay.
It's
similar to like cookbooks now. Now there's cooking channels and YouTube cooking where you can learn, but back then we had cookbooks, but it wasn't the same. Like it would say certain things, and how would you know when, because you couldn't see it or feel it.
So how you knew as a guy is that pretty much everybody went to shop class.
Right.
You either were in automotive shop class or in woodworking shop class.
I was in automotive shop class.
Yeah,
My dad made me take it.
Yeah. So you learn things.
Right.
You learn things because, like you had said previously, when something broke, if you didn't fix it, you didn't have any way to drive or get around or do anything.
Right.
So everybody knew how to do basic things.
Right.
Everybody.
Well, and somewhere along the way, that knowledge pipeline broke, and it shows. Well, and like you said, kids aren't taking shop class anymore. And schools have traded, wood shop class or wood. They call it wood shop. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Wood shop class for like computer classes, or where they're using iPads. It's not the same. They're not learning any of the DIY stuff, And then, then add to that convenience culture where everybody's like, ooh, Amazon delivers or call a guy became a default where people call a guy for everything. Like things
Yeah.
that you, like, it's just, I don't want to say I laugh, but I kind of do,
Right.
at things that some people are calling a guy over.
But I think a lot of the, and you tell me whether you disagree or don't, but the big China and Vietnamese push to have everything made over there
Yeah,
makes a lot of the things that we use every day
yeah,
truly throwaway items.
right.
I mean, why are you going to pay a repair guy to come fix your hair dryer when it only costs $6?
Well, like our air fryer.
Yeah.
Well, and it wasn't $6. I got it on a good deal. It was like a $225 air fryer that I got on a special for $44.
Right.
But it broke, and it's there's not even anybody to fix it.
Right. Right. And no real directions on how to do it.
No.
So, a lot of parents quit passing down skills because they got busy.
Right.
To me, that I don't know if that's really an excuse, but it's reality, and it's reality for survival. Right. Because the faster it seems like the faster the pace of life, the more money you need to do it. Right. When I was growing up, well, I guess there might have been, but I was never good enough to participate. All these travel teams and all the stuff that, man, you got to spend a lot of money if your kid is in the upper echelon of sports. And like you were involved in hockey. That was thousands and thousands of dollars.
Every year, thousands of dollars. And, we just did what we thought was the right thing to do. Right. And I'm not sure looking back on it if that was the best use of time. Right. And money. I don't know.
So it seems like a lot of parents have just decided that they don't want to pass it down because the kids aren't interested in that. They'd rather be on a video game or on their computer. Yeah. That is going to hurt them. That is going to hurt them. It's going to hurt society. It's going to hurt everything that we know about DIY. Because if there's nobody to pass the skills on to, who's going to do it? Right. I think that the younger folks just don't want to get their hands dirty. They just don't have any incentive to fix something when they can buy something new.
I think that is part of it, but I also think that, we have to look at some other realistic things, and it's like it's reality in our society. The divorce rate is very high,
right?
And I think that back in the day, girls and boys were modeled all these skills. It wasn't like we're going to do such and such and you scheduled it in.
Right.
It was just that's what happened. Shit broke. Dad went to the hardware store, dragged your ass along with him if you were a boy, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And then you were there and you were like holding a flashlight or handing tools. You were the assistant for all of that. It was just part of life. You were just, it was just assimilated in. And I think when we had dads not in the home, I think that's affected things.
I agree.
And I think on the girl side, not that we say girls can't do, that, but I think generally things split down the gender, the typical gender roles. Now, granted, I took auto shop. My dad made me, so I'm not saying that you can't do that, but I think it does kind of fall down.
Yeah.
So I think for me, or how I see it too, is we don't have a lot of women and moms in the home anymore. Right. They're working, and so they don't have the patience. They work all day. They come home. They really don't want to sit with a 7-year-old and show them how to cook and how to do stuff. And there's no judgment about it. It's just reality. It's right. It's what is happening. And I think that's one of the reasons that this has happened.
Yeah.
In addition to, like you said, things being made in overseas and not being made to be fixed.
Well, and all these tradespeople, including handymans and all that, you got to make it worth their while to come to your house. So most everybody has a minimum. Right. And most of the time those minimums are at least $100
Right.
to even get somebody to come out. So
Right.
that's an issue. Not being able to do DIY stuff is cost.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and when the skills disappear, the costs go up fast. Well, when we're hiring everything out as a society, when everything's getting hired out, it just means that the bills are going to be higher. It means that the people are going to be waiting longer to get stuff done. There's going to be longer wait times. If people don't know how to do it, then there's only going to be a few people that know how to do it.
Right.
So there's going to be, you have to wait. You're going to have to pay more, and we're going to be more dependent on others and less independent, which is
Yep.
not what we want to see with the younger generations. And imagine paying triple the amount just to get your toilet unclogged because no one knows. There's no one left that knows how to do it. Something that happened for us. I mean, I even knew how, and still do know how to plunge a toilet.
Sure.
Because of necessity. We had stuff happen when my parents were at work, and it's like, I wasn't going to call my mom and tell her what happened. One time my sister, she wasn't supposed to eat a banana. My mom was having a dinner party. She wasn't supposed to eat anything. And she wanted to ask my mom for a banana. My mom said no. She snuck a banana out, went in the bathroom and ate it. She wanted to flush the peel down the toilet to get rid of the evidence so my mom wouldn't get mad at her. So she put the banana peel in the toilet. She put Mr. Bubble in there to help it slide down the toilet and flushed it. And the peel got stuck and bubbles were going everywhere. And she hollered out to me. I would have been, honestly, 9. She was like 6. I was 9. I go in there with the plunger. I sorted that shit out. I knew how to do that with the plunger. I think there's a lot of adults who wouldn't even know what to do if the toilet started overflowing now. Do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's proven.
Yeah.
It's proven that we're already seeing shortages in the trades. Plumbers, electricians, mechanics.
Right.
And that's just the beginning.
Right.
If nobody knows how to fix anything, then everything costs more.
Right.
And if nobody knows how to fix it, they also don't know how to maintain it.
Right.
So stuff's going to break faster.
Right.
Now, granted.
And it's breaking faster because a lot of it's not made
with
good
junk.
Quality. Right.
That's right.
Exactly.
It's not made how it was 50 years ago.
Right.
And it's just a reality. Some stuff's better. I think like tires and stuff are better now, but other stuff.
But they cost a lot more too.
They cost a lot more. A lot more.
Yeah.
So certain things are better, but overall, I think the quality and our acceptance of cheap shit.
Right.
We just keep putting up with it.
Well, and we're just used to it. It's like the frog in the pot, you know? It's like we've just gotten used to it over the years, and we don't even have an expectation of good quality anymore.
I mean, where does this happen when we open a box and everything's in it that's supposed to be?
I'm happy when it works when I first get it, like you're saying. Right. I feel like that's a win because half the time I've gotten stuff and it doesn't work, and you have to send it back. And what a hassle is that?
Oh.
To take anything back that doesn't work. And then especially if they try and make you use the warranty.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just shit. I hate that. All right. So what do we actually do about it? Because sitting around complaining about it, like we're doing now, is not going to help pass the torch. Well, the first thing that we have to do is we have to teach what we know. I mean, we can teach it to our kids. We can teach it to our grandkids. We can teach it to neighbors. Another thing that, Jim and I want to encourage you, if you have a skill that you know how to do stuff, start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to, be as committed as we are and do so much, one of the things that's nice with people our age doing a YouTube channel is that you can leave your channel as a legacy. When you pass away, your channel will be here, and your kids and grandkids can always go back to your channel.
Right.
and look at it, because invariably, especially if they're young, they're not even going to listen to you right now anyway. So, you can do that. Teach them how to fix a faucet. Teach them how to change a tire. Start small. I mean, even basic skills like hanging a shelf. A lot of people don't know how to do that. Or like Jim and I were talking about earlier, like changing a light bulb. Like I thought people don't know how to change a light bulb, but it's a lot more than that. Like Jim was saying, it's like if there's a like in the oven or in the fridge, or like we're looking at a ceiling fan that we have that's got a, what do you call that, a shroud or a something like that. That has to come off to even get to the bulb. So anyway, doing even small things like that is going to help the people in your life build some confidence.
Absolutely. And like, let's say you've been a handyman for years and years and years. Take a picture of hanging a ceiling fan.
Right.
Take a picture of
a video.
A video. Yeah, sorry. Write a description. How to change an outlet, how to change a switch. Stuff that we as an older crowd really take for granted.
Right.
A lot of people think electricity is just magic.
I did.
It just happens.
I saw that side eye look at it. I mean,
my point is if you've been around this long, you've got something to offer.
Right.
You do.
Right.
So, attend a community workshop.
Teach it one.
Yeah, teach a community workshop. There you go. Create YouTube tutorials. Watch YouTube tutorials. Mentor somebody.
Right.
If you know you're going to have a big project up and you've got a neighbor kid or a grandson or a granddaughter, tell them to come over and watch you do it. Right. Everybody loves a helper.
Right. You've even had people who had kids that were interested in learning, and so they came and helped for free to learn how to do stuff. So that was really helpful.
Yeah. So the legacy of our generation is not all stories.
Right.
It's passing on the grit.
Right.
To be able to do things ourselves. And that is a trait that nobody can take from us. And it's a trait that we need to try to pass on to the next generation.
Well, DIY is more than just fixing stuff. It's about independence, pride, resourcefulness. And if we don't pass it down, it goes with us. And there are one thing I can say with a lot of millennials and Gen Z, is they are frugal. They are a little bit more mindful of things. And I think that they definitely would be open to learning some of this stuff because they don't seem to be very materialistic, which is great. And so for them, I think they would be open to this kind of stuff.
I think it's on an individual basis. So.
I think you're right. But as a whole, I think that they are. So don't just leave money and stuff to your kids. Leave them with skills so they know how to survive and how to thrive. Because being independent there's no price tag on that.
Yeah. And, we don't need everybody to be a master carpenter.
Right.
But it'd be kind of nice if they knew how to use a level and put up a shelf, or if somebody went and accidentally ran over their mailbox, how to reinstall the mailbox. It'd be nice if they knew what basic tools needed to be used and how to use them. Because when we're gone, all that may be gone too. Unless we really got to make sure that it damn sure lives on. And the only way we can do that is to pass it on. So we have a comment section. This is a subject that I'm very, very passionate about because I see it in my business. I see it every day. I see people that can't do, well, I'm not going to say they can't, that don't want to do anything themselves. And they think everything can be done with just a call. Well, you've got the other side of that with the opportunist, waiting on those calls.
Right.
Because if it's in a good area, that price is going to be twice as high if it's in a bad area. So I'm sure you've seen that. I think people our age tend to start getting taken advantage of. because everyone thinks we all have a lot of money, and we're just stupid and nice and willing to give it away. If you have any comments about this, please share them. I'd love to read your thoughts. I think you kind of know mine now. So thank you to our subscribers. We really appreciate it. We love doing these, and we hope you guys enjoy them too. Thank you.
Well, and one last thing I want to add is, the same way that we as a generation are often intimidated by technology, and so we resist it, or we act like we don't. Sometimes people in our generation act like we don't want to know. I think that the younger generation is also intimidated by all of this kind of stuff, the DIY stuff, and so I think they act like they don't want to know too. So I think it's about maybe helping to sort of bridge that, so that just because, or understand that maybe though they seem like they don't want to or they're not interested, that it might just be that they're really super intimidated of it, so they act like they don't want to.
Okay,
So
that's
anyway.
fair.
Well, if our channel resonates with you and you stayed till the end, so that means you must like it at least a little bit. If you do, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We put out new content every weekday, Monday through Friday, and we also just started a new a new Hangout group on the school platform, and the link for that is in the description. And in that platform, it's a little bit more personal. It's not just one way like this is. It's a group where we can go back and forth. It's ad free, so it's not like Facebook, where if you've ever been in a Facebook group, it's like you get 20 ads and then maybe one thing that's relevant to you. This is ad free, and we include there's posts in there, there's videos, we include bloopers from our show, and right now we also have in there that's free. Side Hustles for Unretired Rebels, which is a PDF downloadable ebook that we created that has, I think, 50 or 60 different ideas for side hustles for people our age if they want to start earning some extra income. And right now, it's free in our Unretired AF Rebels group. So check out the link in the description if you're interested in joining. It's free to join until November 1st, 2025. Well, we're not slowing down.
Neither should you.
And together, we're Unretired AF.